ticket.
Heisman week continuing hour number 2. Let me say what's up to our Dollar Loan Center video audience. This airing on the KTIK YouTube channel. Going to be fun to catch up with one of our favorites here in a second. 29 rushing touchdowns for Ashton Jeanty this year, 10 of which were over 50 yards or more. That's over a third of his teeters are going to the house, Prater. Over 50. We're going to play every one of those for you throughout the program today. Prater, I think we're only 3 or 4 in, right? We still got a ton left.
Let's get on. We got a whole bunch of them left. We got to cram them in, but first we got some serious business to take care of, my friend.
Heck yeah. Our boy, Zach Gelb, we bring on the program right now of the Zach Gelb Show here, KTIK, before Prater on the Ball Game, big national show our boy Zach Gelb hosts, and he was on the Ashton Jeanty train before anybody else was on a national level, listeners. And I want to know how the hell that ride has been. Zach, welcome back to Idaho Sports Talk. And I think that's true. You were on this thing early, and I bet it's been a pretty stinking good ride for you on the Zach Gelb Show. What's going on, man?
Prater in the Ball Game, longtime listener, not first-time caller. I know this week you guys were looking for Ashton Jeanty memories, so I will give you one. I remember when I got a call from Mike when I was in Las Vegas and I was getting ready for the season, and he said to me, Zach, we want to bring you back to Boise. We want to carry your show 2 hours, be the pigs in the blanket to the filet mignon that is Prater in the Ball Game. And I said, Mike, I love it, and Ashton Jeanty is going to be a Heisman Trophy finalist. And no lies were told in that conversation.
Dang, yes. Nailed another one.
Yeah, but do you remember, and I hate to bring this up, because you were kind enough to invite me onto your show, and I remember I was in the middle of a Boise
I remember. You said there's no way that Ashton Jeanty's going to win the Heisman, you dope.
Yeah, you probably have the sound, but we were in the middle of a Boise State press conference, and I literally stepped like 10 feet away on the other side of a paper-thin door, and I started screaming and yelling into your show saying, I didn't say he was going to not win it. I went even further. I said, he's a group of 5 running back. He's not even a candidate. This was before the season even started. Obviously, I was wrong. You're right. Let's make amends. Let's get after it, my friend.
And you know what? It's usually the national jackasses that end up having those stupid takes, not the local guys that have been doing this for 5,000 years in this town. Come on.
I need to work on my local homerism. I've been told for 30 years around here, but we'll work on that.
Soften up a little bit, okay? You don't have to be an old curmudgeon.
Zach Gelb with the Zach Gelb Show here. Prater on the Ball Game on KTIK, the tickets. Yeah, just, describe the ride, Gelb. You were here early to it. You've seen every carry Ashton Jeanty has had this year, and bringing kind of Boise State, certainly college football coverage, to a national program like yours. And, man, Ashton Jeanty's given you a lot of stuff to talk about, man.
Yeah, and it's more than just Ashton Jeanty. And I don't think that gets highlighted on the national level. So that's why I appreciate having the platform that I do. Because I get to talk more about Boise State. Like, how about the year and a half that Spencer Danielson has had? It's been unbelievable what the defense was able to do up against UNLV. And a lot of people have been critical of Maddox Jeter Madsen, which I understand, right? There were some questions. There were some concerns. I know he's not perfect. I know he's not a generational quarterback. But this dude has got better and better and better as the season has gone on. I know the second half of the conference championship game, if you want to nitpick, he could have had some balls that would have got picked off. But with how he played in the first half, that was a nice threat and a nice little element that was added to the offense. And we've been seeing it the last few weeks when he took the ball away from Jeanty towards the end of the regular season and dashed into the end zone right off the left side. This is a complete team. And for any of you dopes that say, oh, well, Boise State doesn't play anybody. Oh, Boise State, they play some JV schedule. They played Oregon, and they lost by 3 in a game that they should have won, where Jeanty had 197 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns. So let's stop with just people that don't watch college football and they swoop in and parachute in for the final 3 weeks of the season and say a lot of stupid things.
Yep.
He's Zach Gelb. He's live from New York City, where Ashton Jeanty, he's leaving Thursday. He'll be there on Friday and Saturday, and I cannot wait to see how this weekend plays out. Ashton Jeanty in the streets of Manhattan. Zach Gelb, from your perspective in New York City, and we know that you watch the games because you communicate with us during the games and you talk about little things like that play here, that play there. You're definitely watching Ashton Jeanty. What's the show like from your perspective in New York City?
I would say that this is a Heisman Trophy race that I do think a lot of people believe that Travis Hunter is going to win the award, but I don't think anyone knows that he's going to win the award. Where it's either going to be Travis Hunter or Ashton Jeanty. And most of these years covering the Heisman for as long as I have, and it's been now over a decade, and I voted for the award, I think, for the last 4 or 5 years, you usually get a feeling when you cast your ballot, okay, this guy's won, this guy's going to win. This year, I think there's a lot of people vocally with how loyal the Colorado fan is that's making it known that the vocal majority is Travis Hunter. But I do think there's going to be a lot of people that vote Jeanty. And if he wins the award on Saturday night, I won't be surprised. And I think this is going to be a whole lot closer than what some people think. It's a foregone conclusion that Travis Hunter is going to win the award.
Zach Gelb with us, Zach Gelb show here on KTIK, Prater in the Ball Game. All right. In that sense, so you voted, Prater's voted.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts, Zach? I mean, how do you think it's going to go Saturday? Are you kind of thinking, it'll probably be Hunter, but it'll be closer than people think? That's kind of where Prater is right now.
So I probably would agree with that, but I'm hoping that I will be, because I'm going to be there in New York City, that we get to talk to Ashton Jeanty. And if Travis Hunter wins, I love watching Travis Hunter play. This also doesn't have to be so contentious. The Colorado fan wants their guy to win. The Boise State fan wants their guy to win. It's kind of like the stupid Jordan-LeBron debate. You say Michael Jordan's the greatest player of all time. Doesn't mean LeBron James sucks and vice versa. So we can acknowledge how great both these players are. But I do really hope that I get to text Prater on Saturday night and just go, I thought he couldn't win the award, big fella. I thought he couldn't win the award.
Do you bring Prater back nationally on that, Gelb? If he wins it, you got to get Prater back on the show, play that clip, and have a lot of fun with it. Prater's a good sport. He'll do it.
I think if Jeanty wins the award, we come down to Boise next year, and we put Prater in a dunk tank, and we have listeners line up, and they get to throw the ball into the bullseye to dunk Prater to dunk that take of stupidity.
Send the money to our charity, Camp Rainbow Gold. And I think we just came up with a really cool segment, Zach Gelb. Thanks for producing our show. I like this.
I'm not sure I like that. I've done that before at a Boise State fundraiser function when I was less popular than I am now. And some lady threw the softball and broke a toe on my foot because she aimed for my feet instead of the target. But that's beside the point. You've covered a lot of these Heisman trophies, and we're not going to be there this weekend, and we wish we were, but take us inside the room. You've covered a lot of these, and eventually I want to hear your story about Manti Te'o and the documentary that you put together based on covering Manti Te'o with the Heisman Trophy. But what's it like in that room?
So Friday is interesting. It's very casual and I won't be there this year Friday because the show's going to be on the road. We're going to be in DC for Army Navy Radio Row, which is a great event on behalf of USAA.
Nice.
But
you can hear that right here on KTIK.
Yes, obviously you could hear the from 1 to 3 Mountain Time, obviously. So I think Friday it's very casual, and you have so many different media members, and they have each candidate at a table, and then the candidate rotates, till it goes through one rotation, so every table gets a chance to talk to the finalists. And then Saturday, it's bizarre because there's all this hype. These players know that they're watching them. They're saying, look down at the trophy, take a photo, kiss the trophy, take a photo. It's just weird. They do a quick press conference where there'll be some dopey media member that will make some comment on NIL, and it's like, please, time and place, shut up. And then they go to these tables and they do one more media availability, and then they walk across the street. The ceremony happens, and then the winner, usually the coach of the winner, and maybe like one other person associated with the program is there afterwards, and you get to talk to the winner. The losers, I think they do like local availability. I don't think they do national availability. It just depends on what the SID that is there within the sports information director, for people that don't know, ends up doing. But that's pretty much Heisman Trophy night, and they have a good buffet there, so I will be well fed on Saturday evening. But the Manti Te'o story. So I was in college, And Manti Te'o was a Heisman Trophy finalist. Johnny Manziel won the award. And, this is what I do. I ask questions. And we didn't know at the time that Manti Te'o's girlfriend didn't exist. But I was basically like, hey, like, I'm a college kid. I can't even imagine, because the story was he lost his grandmother. He lost his girlfriend. Like, how did you have the toughness to go? And I'm sitting there. I had 6, 7, 8 questions asked to Manti Te'o about this whole thing. So when the Deadspin article drops, I'm at my fraternity house. We're at a frat party. May have had a few drinks in the system. And my friend goes, have you seen, my best friend texts me. He goes, have you seen the Manti Te'o story? And I go, on Deadspin? Like, yeah, I read the story. He goes, you're in it. And I go, what do you mean I'm in it? So I had my phone, and it was an older phone at the time. It didn't load the pictures in the article. You see my fat head right next to Manti Te'o in the middle of the Deadspin article. So all these years pass, and they do a documentary that explains the entire thing, and they have my questions with the video. You see me and Manti Te'o talking about this girlfriend that never existed. So that's one of my Heisman Trophy moments.
That was the Untold. That's the Netflix spectacular program as well. It makes you want to hug Manti Te'o and never let him go, at least for me when I felt that way. And so Gelb got that party started on the Te'o girlfriend non-existent. That was you?
I just asked a question about his girlfriend. That was it. I thought she existed. I thought, I may sound like a jerk sometimes on the air. I'm a warm and fuzzy guy. I'm like, oh, what a story. The poor guy lost his grandmother, which was true. His girlfriend wasn't true. And he's playing football for Notre Dame. It was a heartwarming story.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. All right, Zach. So, full disclosure, you went to college at Temple. So you're right down the street from Penn State. And you know Penn State football pretty well. I need you to break down Penn State, SMU, and then let's just go ahead for funs and giggles. Assume that Penn State's going to win this game. Then I need your quick early, since you were the first guy to jump on the Ashton Jeanty train, I need you to be the first one to break down Boise State, Penn State.
Oh, boy. So I said this today to Cole Kublik, who joined us. I do believe one of Arizona State or Boise State is going to get to the semifinal. I do not believe that Texas is this great team. I do not believe that Penn State is this great team. Now, I have no reason to dislike Texas, so this will impact my analysis. I can't stand James Franklin. He is a fake tough guy. He never takes any accountability. He tries to pretend like his program is elite, and he never wins a big game. Penn State's going to beat SMU. And then you know what? I said it was either going to be Arizona State or Boise State. I'll go with Spencer Danielson and the Boise State Broncos to get to the Final Four, to get to the semifinals, where then their season will come to an end.
Gosh, we got to hang out with this guy, Prater. We got to get Gelb to Boise. You can do your show for the studio here, and it's going to be a trip, man. We got to get you out here, Gelb.
Well, why not this?
Boise.
So I agree. I need to come to Boise. Why don't we do a show on the turf? You guys co-host with me for the first 2 hours. Then we'll do a simulcast together for my final hour when you guys don't carry me. And then, we'll go out. We'll have burgers, some potatoes, and some beer. That's what I think we do.
We'll carry your third hour that day.
Yeah, that's kind of you.
Yeah, grab some burgers and let some of the listeners come hang with us too.
We'll take you to Goldie's. We'll take you to the Stagecoach. We'll meet. You can go meet Wanda, and we'll give you the trip of a lifetime.
Who's Wanda?
She's the Goldie's Stagecoach. She's our regular. She's our restaurant regular for the out of town.
How old is Wanda?
Hey now.
I'm just asking. I need to know what gift to bring. Prater, you got a sick mind.
She's been feeding Prater for decades.
Oh boy. God bless her.
Yes, God, that's a chore, man. That's a chore. So
hopefully you tip well, Prater.
Oh yeah, there's not a problem. So,
and you know what? Maybe we do Ashton Jeanty Appreciation Day. That's what we do.
I would love to do that. I would love to do that. I would love to keep this thing going. And you truly have been a pretty good inspiration for Boise State football, a champion for Boise State football, Ashton Jeanty, Spencer Danielson. You're a better homer than I am, and I respect you for that, Zach Gelb.
I'm not a homer. I'm just realistic.
Yes. Hey, Zach, you said you're covering Army, Navy, Radio Row. That's really good radio on that Friday before that game and the Heisman ceremony. You want to let our listeners know, we're going to catch that at 1, brought to you by USAA. Why don't you give them a plug, Zach?
Yeah, no, it's a spectacular event that they do each and every year and get you set for the Army-Navy game, which it's very important on the field, but it's even more important off the field. And they'll have some big guests lined up. There was one thrown my way. It's not confirmed yet, but if I get to talk to this person, I've never talked to this person before, it should be a very interesting conversation. So I'm hoping it happens.
Nice. I love those, man. We get to, we deal with that too, Gelb, here in Boise, talking and meeting people that, I want to name drop. Gelb.
Yeah, I know, Ballgame. That's how highly you think of me, right?
Hell yeah. Man. This is why everybody listens to Idaho Sports Talk. Zach Gelb on the program today. This has been awesome. Zach, we love you from 1 to 3 on KTIK, giving us your time. I know there's probably a beer and a burger waiting for you somewhere, man. Thank you.
Well, hold on. I have a question now. You put myself on the spot. You put Prater on the spot. Who's winning Saturday night? Is it Jeanty?
I kind of have this weird feeling that the kid's going to win it, that the Heisman voters aren't going to be able to get those 10, 50-plus yard touchdown runs out of their head. It's weird for me. It's like it's a Barry Sanders type of year versus a unicorn. No quarterback. I don't know where it's going to go, but I trust you guys. You guys voted on the thing, and it feels like both of you guys hope Jeanty wins, but kind of think Travis Hunter's going to win.
Well, I can't confirm nor deny, right, Prater, on who we voted for.
No.
So.
He was on. I did say that he was on one of my 3 lines. I did put Ashton Jeanty on one of my 3 lines. I didn't go as far as the Arizona guy who got fired up and mad that Scattaboo was going to be his number 1 guy and threw it out there and didn't care if he got fired. So,
man, college football, right?
Nothing like it.
And the whining and the fan bases and just the discussion.
I will tell you though, I will find it fascinating on Saturday night, depending on who wins, to just see the fights on social media between Colorado fans and Boise State fans. Because when I had this tweet that did like 4 million views off what Fox put out there, and I just screen grabbed it and put it out there, I didn't think this thing was going to go viral about Ashton Jeanty and the seasons he had compared to the other running backs. There are cesspools, and then there were my mentions on Twitter. It's, as someone that will just have like my hands filled with butter and popcorn on Saturday night, I will be very interested to see the Boise State fans and the Colorado fans fight.
We talk about that often on the show, the hatred for Travis Hunter in Boise, Idaho. It's so unfair, but if Hunter holds that Heisman up, he's basically sports public enemy number 1 in this town for a long time. Zach Gelb, Boise fans never going to get over Ashton Jeanty not winning this Heisman. You're never going to be able to convince them that Ashton Jeanty wasn't deserving of this Heisman. It's going to be great sports talk radio.
So I guess Andy Avalos is off the hook then, right?
Your boy Andy is off the hook, man. Zach Gelb, always appreciate you, brother. Well done as always.
Guys, thanks so much. Anytime. Appreciate it. Be well.
Zach Gelb right here on KTIK 1 to 3 before Prater the ball game. KTIK, the ticket.
From the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Studios, this is Ticket Traffic.